Welcome in. Hello, people. How is everybody? I'm offering free readings tonight. I am a psychic medium. I can speak to people who have passed on for you. I can speak to the spirit realm, either passed on loved ones, spirit guides, God, energy, the universe, the cosmos. So come in to a sacred place. This is a prayer practice for me. This is a holy space. I'm probably going to skip over a lot of those. Did some guy block me, or is some stranger on the internet going to be my soulmate, and that kind of stuff. Jeanette, your question is like exactly why I'm here. It's to help you guys with these major life events. So I am a very conversational psychic, so I'll ask you as many questions as I answer. And it's because this is real, and I want to get you the best quality of guidance and insight that I can. So tell me what you know about your son, and I'll fill in the pieces that you don't know. So how old is he? Did he go somewhere? What do you mean by what happened? Did he have a medical emergency? Is he an adult? Is he a child? Let me know those details, and I can fill in the blanks for you. Can I please see what has happened to Jeanette's son? He did not wake up. He was 36 and he passed away. So I can actually talk to your son if he has passed away. And I believe I have him right here, the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So you're asking me his cause of death. What's his name? You're asking me his cause of death, correct? Matthew. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Matthew. He's pretty happy to talk to you, I would say, Mom. Was he a father? Did he have children of his own? He's looking like a nice energy, a responsible man. Hi, Matthew. Your mom is asking your cause of death. Can you give her insight on that? He's telling you you were a good mom. You were a loving mom. Okay, Jeanette? It's like, so we're talking to Matthew now, so he might not focus on his cause of death. We'll see. We'll see if he wants you to know or not. Maybe you're not meant to know. But he wants you to know that you were a good mom. He says he felt your love. If you question that, he felt your love. He knew you loved him. He says, as a young person, he had a bit of confusion or something in his life. But you were a good mom. he says. He didn't always understand the way things were, or he didn't always understand why things happened a certain way, but you were always there for him. Matthew, is your mom allowed to know your cause of death, please? Seven of Swords is hidden information. Five of Pentacles is probably financial hardship. It can mean poverty, or it can mean divorce. So was your son, did he live with anybody? Who did your son live with at this time that he passed? He says, I love you. Jeanette, I'm not seeing any comments from you. Okay. Now I do, in a boarding house, says Jeanette. There were probably factors that private, but I see hidden information, I see lying, and I see poverty and loneliness. So Matthew, is there any cause for suspicion with your passing? Any cause for suspicion? He's kind of saying, Mom, don't dig into it. Is that okay? There were other people around him, especially a King of Wands and a Queen of Wands and a Knight of Wands. He had friends around him, I would say. They seem like kind of like friends, or people who they all contributed together. It's like they worked together, but meaning like contributing together, that kind of stuff. So he was he alone? I don't know. He was, I don't know if there was anybody with him at the moment he died, but he had people around. What else? He kind of, the next day, what? All I see from you, Jeanette, is in a boarding house, and then your next comment is the next day. So I'm missing, some of your comments are not coming through. So I don't have a lot of clarity on his cause of death, but what I can tell you is that he's in heaven and he's available to talk to you. There were friends around the next day, yeah, because I'm like, he's alone when he dies, but there were people around. He was alone. I think at the moment of his death, he was alone, and there's hidden information there that he doesn't want you to know about. So let's leave his soul with that. Doing much more digging is probably going to be disruptive to his soul, his energy. He feels at peace. And I would say that he doesn't feel like there's anything left unresolved. And just for your own information, he showed me himself as a child of Pentacles, and then as an adult he's a King of Pentacles. The Pentacles people, the character of the Pentacles is that he's pretty grounded and he was probably pretty quiet. I don't think he caused a lot of ruckus. I think he was just, kind of minding his own business and getting through the days. But his death is not, I don't see major regrets here. I don't feel any darkness around his soul and his energy, okay? So do you feel okay about that? Matthew, is there anything else you want to say to your mom in closing? Okay, good. Light. I am a beacon of light to show others the way. That's what he wants to say in closing. Okay? You can pray to him, Jeanette. He's a good soul. He's a good presence. At least now he is. He's a benevolent energy, okay? You're welcome, my sweet. Somebody else did stand out to me up there, the dad with the assault. Lisa? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. What's your dad's name? And do you know for certain that somebody did assault him? And tell me who it was. William. Hi, William. I see a Queen of Swords here coming out repeatedly. It was in the newspaper. Okay, was there a woman involved that you're aware of? I see him fighting with a woman. Okay. So was his cause of death this assault? I just, you know, sometimes they don't answer us directly, but this Queen of Swords is showing out twice, and there's a lot of fighting, and there's a heartbreak, and the Queen of Swords did him more damage than any assault did. He's kind of saying something like, "Oh, a physical assault is just that, but the emotional turmoil that this Queen of Swords put me through was a lot worse." And then it says, "Goodbye, Mom." Goodbye, Mom. Okay. Now I'll try to ask him, William, your daughter is wondering if you died from the injuries of an assault by this man. The man who assaulted you. Did you die by those injuries? I'm sorry to laugh. He's making a bit of a joke here. Here's his opinion. Here's what he has to say about it. He says, "Listen, I ended up in the newspaper. All is well." He says, that fella that fella couldn't get over on me. And yes, I do see the car. This is a car. And it's reversed. And he says, that little scrappy fella, like, he would insult whoever that man is. I'm not going to say the man's name because it feels ick. But he says, that fella couldn't touch me. Now, Lisa, in the literal sense, he probably did kill him. But your dad's not going to give him the credit. He doesn't want to give him the credit. Does that make sense to you? And he says, listen, I made it to the newspaper. Sure, what do I have to complain about that? He's like, sure, I'm best kind. Okay. Dad, would you like to make a statement any other way? Was your death intentional or accidental or anything like that? I'll just see if he wants to say anything else about it. He's definitely a joker. He says, oh, lady, think outside the box, lady. He's like, I mean, sometimes I can't interpret it word for word what they're saying, but he's kind of insulting me. He's like, oh, you think you're so hoity-toity. You think you're so high and mighty, lady. This is me. He sees me like dressed in all this ruffly clothes. He's like, listen, don't you ask me about my death. Basically. Okay? I don't think he'd really take kindly to somebody who like is like a bit fancy like me. So basically it's not the importance of his story. He would like you to remember him for other reasons. I think he'd like you to remember his character and his persona. I feel like he had a bit of a big personality. Sometimes this can be a little bit narcissistic, which fine, he's passed on now. Let's give him the praise maybe that he wants. I feel like his soul is settled. Yeah, I can ask that question just to make sure. I kind of feel like, yeah, he says, I'm doing my own thing. He says, I have freedom now. He says, I can take care of myself. And he says he did pass to heaven. You're asking, did his soul pass over? William's soul did pass over. This is heaven as a fantasy, and I did travel there. Did he show me a nova on the date of his death? What do you mean by a nova? Ah, sweet. Okay, William, Lisa is asking you if the car she saw, he's giving me tingles. He's giving me tingles. This is nice. This is nice. I'll show you the answer he has for you. Both of these cards mean fast. It's cute. The Knight of Swords, he says yes. That was me showing you that. The Knight of Swords is a youthful, choppy, fast energy. And then it was his way of saying hello. And then the Eight of Wands also means fast. So it's really cute. Out of all of this deck, the cards that he chose to give me both mean like fast. So it's really cute. And it says hello. Look, can you guys read that? This is fast. I didn't pick it out. It's just they fell out. And it said hello. So he did. He sent you a fast card to say hello. And then the Nine of Hearts is dropping out here. This means daughter. The Nine of Hearts means daughter. It really does. I don't just make it up as I go along. It really does. William, what would you like to say to your sons? What would you like to say to your sons? He says, I caused you all so much pain, but I love you so much. For his sons, he says there is an equal amount of pain and love. You're so welcome, Lisa. It's my pleasure. I like your dad, by the way. He has good energy now. I don't know what he was like when he was alive, but he's coming in pretty good now. But for the sons, he says, I know how much harm I caused. He acknowledges that. But he says, cheers. And I really did love you all. He, at least from heaven, he really feels love for all of his children. But you are special to him, Lisa. He's giving you the Nine of Hearts and the Nine of Pentacles. And he's giving me tingles all over it. Thank you, William. I'll put him back to rest, Lisa. He's definitely there for you. Anytime that you think you see like signs and stuff, it is really him. Good, my sweet. I'm glad. I think when he was alive, he was not the greatest, but he's good now. His soul is resolved. Yes, this person is Sil 33. Sil 33. Tell me your name and tell me your dad's name. Priscilla. What's your dad's name, please? Okay. First thing he's bringing up is a divorce. So either did he leave your family when you were a child, or is this occurring in your life at this time? There's a divorce showing up, I'll just say that. But it's the kind of divorce that says leaving. Somebody left somebody. And it might be past, present, or future. Okay, good. So he's aware of that. You left, yeah. He's pretty shook about that. Did it happen? Well, was he still living when that happened? But he says it was earth-shattering. He says it was an earth-shattering event, but he says it was better off. You are better off. 3 of Wands, it talks about future, and 2 of Pentacles talks about stability. So your dad is telling you that it brought stability to you. Yeah. He says kind of like, thank you, next. Like, he says, bye, the end. He's kind of like, he doesn't miss that husband of yours. He's like, good call, okay? Paul. Anything else here, Paul? To Priscilla? Oh, this is nice. He said he's had a good journey. He says, my road was filled with love. Something like that. My journey was filled with love. He feels like a bit of a sensitive soul. And he's saying, I wouldn't have it any other way. So through all life's trials and tribulations, I wouldn't have it any other way. He's also giving me a hymn, an old-fashioned hymn song. It is well with my soul. So he may not have been, whether or not he was religious when he was alive, that song describes his perspective on his life now. It is well with my soul, he says. So play that song for yourself. Wazzy, that's beautiful. Really beautiful. So, like, I'm going to get emotional because it's like though I don't know the exact words, but it's like though my journey was often burdened, though my soul was weary. Labors, something about labors and toils and those types of things. And he knows the words to this song. He just can't get me to know them. But it's well with his soul. He doesn't have any regrets. Oh, look. Ace of Hearts, I love you. It's like his only existence and his only memories are good ones. You know how they say only the good die young? He's talking about celebration. He's really happy for you, Priscilla, for you and the way that you're living your life independently. Because if you ever wondered, having your dad, if he was such a religious and traditional man, probably living a traditional life, you've gone off the beaten path a little bit and chose the single life. And he says, congratulations, and it is well with his soul that you did that, okay? There's something about his money showing. Whatever occurred with his money, his soul is resolved to it now. He accepts what happened. So I don't know if there was some kind of disappointment by some parties or what, but he feels resolved to it, like accepted to it. And he does rest at peace. He's surrounded by family in heaven. His relatives, his extended family are with him in heaven. And he says when it's your turn, your extended family will be welcoming you into heaven. So again, with this, you've gone off the beaten path. You're probably a bit of a rogue in your family, in your heritage, because it looks like traditional people. Looks like probably close-knit extended family. whether or not you had that, he had that, like a bigger extended family, he says you're going to be accepted. When, you know, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're not going to be an outcast. Both in your living life and in your heavenly life, you're not going to be an outcast. Do you have any siblings, Priscilla? And do you have children yourself? Because he's telling me to talk about the children. So just tell me who his children, like if there are many, and then your own if you have any. He wants to just acknowledge the children. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Would you like to hear from your sibling on the other side? There is some, is it a brother? He passed, yes, so brother. There is some reference to his, whatever he left behind, his house and his savings and stuff. He's referencing that. I don't know if you would have had anything to do with his, like, you know, preparations or finances or anything after he died. Patrick. Hi, Patrick. So he says yes. Somebody had decisions to make it. Okay. So do you want to ask him specific questions about that? I know it's a public platform, but he does want to talk about it. And I'm going to have a hard time being specific. Does he have children, Priscilla? 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, twice. You're okay with it. All right. So, brother, she doesn't want to ask you any questions about that. But what he says is equal give and take. Let me put it that way. Equal give and take. But I think with the Ace of Swords, I think he knows that you know what you're doing. He says, there's a reason I left you in church, okay? Now he got that out. Yes. Okay, good. So he says, there's a reason I left you in church. Perfect. Brother, anything else you want to say to your sister? He feels still very lively. He has a lot of vibrancy. And he's an active spirit. So some of the spirits are they remind me of like sprites, or like I like Shakespeare and it feels like Puck energy. There's always like a trickster in the Shakespeare stuff. He feels like a trickster, your brother. In a like cute way, like a jokey way, like he'll probably be the one to leave you dimes, or he might blow open the curtains. When the curtains blow open, and I'm saying when, that's him. Yeah, I can tell. And it feels like he's not even dead. It's like he's just like, I'm just the same. He didn't transform very much. He feels very much the same. And he's still really lively because he is his passing is recent, so it's like he's still really lively. He's talking about sister. So your sister, I'm not going to say much about sister here, brother, but she's coming out as Queen of Swords, so he says you're his favorite, okay? You're his favorite. And he's saying it in a funny way, but he says don't tell her. Sister comes out as Queen of Swords, a bit annoying. Annoying, he says. Oh, he's cute. All right, let's close him out. He needs to get some rest, actually. Brother, I'd like you to take it down a notch and get some rest, actually. Did he have ADHD or something? He feels a bit restless. So let's pray that he gets peacefulness. Yeah. He's not quite at peace because there are still things that need to be settled. So it feels like he's like running around trying to finish a to-do list as well. And like he's supervising you doing all these tasks. So... oh, yeah, if he, like, got back his energy, that would make a lot of sense. Thanks for coming in, brother. Sister loves you. Yeah, and he says you're gorgeous. He says you're gorgeous, Priscilla. He loves you. You're gorgeous. Yeah, he must be pretty excited to get back on his feet. And he says thank you for being such a good sister. He really does. He says, thank you for being such a good sister. And like you're doing everything right. You're welcome, my sweet. I gotta boat your ghosties back. Brother, you need to get some rest. Let sister take care of it. She got it. She got it under control. Bye, he says. Bye. BYE, bye. And I don't know where your mom is, but he loves your mom. If she's living or passed, but he loves your mom. You're welcome. Jones, 1962. Tell me your name and your dad's name. Hardin, Vicky is here. Vicky is here, Hardin. He's calling you misresponsible. Misreliable, he says. Misreliable. And he says, you know I love you, Vicky. Just because you may not have been there with him, you have each other's back. It feels like you held hands in a way. Even if you didn't get to say goodbye to him, he knows that you held his hand. Did you have an opportunity to hold his hand? Or it might be energetically or like emotionally holding his hand, but I feel that he says, I know you were holding my hand. So you got your chance to do that, and he said that was goodbye. Yeah, he's like Ace of Wands is like, you know I love you. And Two of Wands, Ace of Wands, and Two of Wands. What are you saying about this? There's some kind of idea. He's saying something like, I'm open to the idea. So that's a phrase that's coming to me. I'm open to the idea. Where is he buried? Is he buried or is he scattered or what? And was he married to your mom? When he passed, were they still married? So he wants to know if she's going to be buried with him. Is that arranged already? Jenny, as a side note to Jenny, it says yes. This is your dad, and it says yes, he's with you. Okay. Now for Harden, was it Harden and Vicky? Yeah. His question, he's saying I'm open to the idea, and he's saying, is your mother going to be buried with me? Okay, those are his two questions for you. Yes, I'm from Newfoundland. Not just from, but living in. Vicky, if you are responding to me, I don't see any comments from you, okay? Sometimes they filter us out. Oh, yes. I'm from Placentia. Where'd Vicky go? Vicky! Vicky! Where'd you go? Oh, she's already buried. Okay, so your mom and dad are together. Good. So your mom said she wants to say hello too then. She says, I'm open to the idea. Somebody was saying, I'm open to the idea. Are we buried together? Vicky, do you want to ask any questions to your parents? They say never give up on your love for us. Never give up on us, they say. Yeah, they're always around you, girl. They're always around you, kid. They want to call you kiddo. They're like, of course we are, kiddo. We never give up on you. We never give up on you. And they say, like, love is in your heart. That's where love exists. Love is in your heart. You should visit their grave. But there's a King of Swords in your cards. Who's this guy? He's an abuser. Do you know, are you aware? They definitely are. They're quiet people. You do have an abuser in your life. Maybe you're not fully aware of that, but you do. So it might be past, present, or future. He might come in the future. But when this man comes in your life, or when you become aware of him, pray to your parents about it, because your parents would have some opinions on him. Okay, Vicky's parents, I'm going to close you out there. None of you are very chatty, Vicky or her parents. Oh, yes, my love. That's a form of abuse. Yes, my darling. That is a form of abuse. Very much. Very, very much. They don't have to hate you. So I'm going to close them out now, but you take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, they said. Start saving your money, okay? Get your own bank account and start a savings account. Jenny, yes, what's your dad's name? Would you like to talk to him? You can talk to him if you want. Make sure you talk, though. I'm just the telephone. Here's your dad. Jenny, your dad says that you give a lot to other people. He says you're a giver. That's what he says about you. My little Jenny. She's such a giver, he says. She's very generous, and you really think the best of people. You really give people the benefit of the doubt. You're emotionally generous. You're graceful. You're merciful. You're forgiving. And he says that because he knows you so well, he can rest peacefully. He doesn't have to worry about you. This says that I rest peacefully. Okay? And he says, Jenny, your dad says that when he passed, he saw you more clearly too. It's like now that he can see you as, living your life, he's like, wow, she's an amazing daughter, he says. And I see it now more than ever. Okay? Have you been hurt in romantic love yet? How old are you, Jenny? Oh, I see. So yeah, probably lots of times, hey? But he says, Roger just says, guard your heart. He's like, he wants you to be like focusing on loving yourself and focusing on, you do give a lot to other people, but he wants you to give as much to yourself as you give to others, for sure. He's not very inclined to visit the earthly realm. He's more inclined to stay asleep, if that makes sense. Like in his spirit form, he likes to rest. He likes to sleep. He doesn't really like to get up out and go visiting. He doesn't really like to come back to life. He said, like he's not bothered by it. He's happy to talk to you, but he's also happy to just like go back to bed. Do you want to ask him any questions, Jenny? And is your mother still alive? I see a Queen of Swords here who kind of gives her children a hard time. I don't know who that is, but I'll just say a Queen of Swords gives her children a hard time. That's what your dad is referring to. Looks like probably. Is she? Okay, good. So it's not your mom, but There's someone. It might be your mom's mom. If your mom had a bit of a rougher upbringing, sometimes that makes her softer in a way. So I don't know. There's a Queen of Swords there who gives her children a hard time. He is referring to that. Might have been your mom's mom, though. Were they like happily married, your mom and dad? Well, she's here again, the Queen of Swords. They were happily married. So I don't know who he's referring to, but this is a Queen of Swords and a daughter. Queen of Swords is a critical woman. Roger, what would you like to say to your wife? Sweet. His wife is his dream come true. Dream come true. He also says she's very smart. She's so smart. And he says, I always loved her. No matter what. Whatever happened in the, you know, whatever happened in the rest of the time, he always loved her. Anything else to close out, Roger? Queen of Swords. I don't know. I don't know what it means. You'll have to piece that one together yourself. Maybe ask your mom. Your dad just repeatedly said Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords. I know it does. I know what it means. I'm not saying that, but I don't know what Roger is trying to say with it. Yes, it can mean intelligence, but there were other indicators in my cards that said this Queen of Swords gives her children a hard time. Jenny, is your brother passed or living? Okay. Roger, what would you like to say to your son? Well, does he have a wife? There she is. Has he ever been married? Is it an ex-wife? How old is your brother? He's 50, he doesn't have a ruthless ex in his life? Who is this, Roger? Who is it? Tell me who the Queen of Swords is. Lots. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is your... So, does your brother have children with a woman? Okay. Anyway, he doesn't like your brother's ex, whoever she is. She's very heavily here. He showed me her like 5 times. And 5 of Pentacles is like a breakup and stuff. So I don't know who she is, but he really doesn't like her at all. And what else for your son here, Roger? Oh, this is nice though. For your brother, Roger says he's just like me. He says like father, like son. My son is just like me. Okay, that's kind of nice. I'm going to put him to rest now, okay, Jenny? Because he was like 10 minutes ago, he kind of wanted to go back to bed. Oh, sweet. He looks like you, Roger. Everybody says he looks like you, Roger. You're welcome. Jenny, what was your father's cause of death? Because your brother may want to keep an eye out for the same health issues too, if it was health related. Or whatever it was, your brother might want to keep... Okay. Yeah, it looks like that's hereditary. It looks hereditary. Okay. Hopefully your brother is aware of that and keeping an eye on it. Okay, good. I'm not too concerned about you, Jenny. Not too concerned. Take pills though. You both will need to take medicines for it. Pills, heart pills. Perfect. All under control. I think they're effective. Roger was easy to put back. That is so funny. He's like, girl, you don't need to clear me out. I'm already gone. He said he was not in pain, Jenny. He was not in pain. When he, like, at his death wasn't painful. It was quick. I can take somebody else. I am free. My energy is free. I can take the next person. I had some love reading requests. That fella Scotty or something was asking about love. Yeah, probably Jenny. Or if he's been passed for a long time, that might be why. He says yes. It was a long time ago. Yeah. Kayla, can I tell you about your nan? I can talk to your nan. Do you want to talk to her? Oh, your nan's sad though. How long ago did she die? Or is she passed? And how long ago? Yeah. I don't think your family has really recovered from it, hey? I still see grief for you guys. And she's still sad too, to be honest. She misses you guys. Yep. It wasn't easy for her to go. It wasn't easy. She really misses you a lot. She does talk to you though. Do you pray? She would like you to be praying. She says, don't worry about me. It's not a situation where like she's not at peace or something. That's not the case. Your grandmother is a holy person. She's holy. Yeah. Okay, good. She's definitely at peace. She's definitely in heaven. That's not an issue at all. She's a good woman. She's a really good woman. She really truly is. She had a heart of gold. And she's telling me thank you. She also had abilities. She had special qualities about her. She could communicate really well. She had a way of saying things is what it is. She'd kind of give you a one-liner and it'd be really impactful. She had a real nice way with words. And there are probably little phrases that your nan kind of planted in your family. Like bedtime prayers or these little, maybe a blessing at the table, little one-liners that she kind of planted and into your memories for you and your cousins and her children and everybody. And she did that so you guys would never be lonely. It feels like you can always hear her voice. Yeah. She's like, my voice will always, you memorized these kind of, you can recite her words. And she says, that way I'll never be gone. I'll never be lost. So this is giving like oral tradition, like keeping her alive in the way you speak and orally. Storytelling too, like she loves if you guys sit around and tell stories about her. She really appreciates that, and it keeps her alive. It keeps her memory alive. Yeah, she's very loving. She loves you guys so much. Especially you, Kayla. You are special to her. If you're not sure about that, you definitely are. She sees you. She watches over you quite a lot. And especially because you do pray. So when you pray, she can know that you're open to communication. So she loves all your family. She loves all your cousins. But if there's a cousin who doesn't pray, then they can't really be as receptive. But for you, she's like, she knows she can turn to you. And she watches over you a lot. There's a King of Wands, like a young man who's having a really hard time. He probably has a lot of baggage. He's been through a lot. So is this a brother of yours or a cousin? He's a young man, like, now grandmothers will call, he might be 50 and she call him a young man. He looks about your age. So brotherly or cousin. Okay, so whoever you think that might be, it's like the cousin who's struggling the most. He probably deals with a lot. And she says prayers for him. I'll show you my spread because I don't always show you guys what comes out here, but just watch. 7 of Hearts, 2 of Hearts. King of Wands, 10 of Wands. 7 of Hearts, 2 of Hearts. What are the odds that I shuffle this deck and I get the same cards twice on each side of this kid? He's so protected. Like, he might be like actually like living in dangerous situations. And Nan says the prayers for him like is going out of style. She's like riddling off the prayers. And I think he's untouchable. Like, he's not going to be harmed, even though he goes through a lot. He has heavy burdens, probably mental health issues, probably safety issues. But Nan prays for him that hard. That is like, you'll never touch him. Kayla, do you want to ask her any questions? Nan says she used to get bored easily. So she likes to be entertained. She likes to either play cards or do puzzles or play bingo or something. Like, she likes to be entertained. She used to get bored easily, she says. And she used to hide away, like, she used to like sneak off and do puzzles or sneak off to bingo or something like this because she didn't want to get bored. Look, she goes sneaking out the door, she says. Sneaking out the door. She might be talking about somebody in your real life now. Somebody sneaking out the door. Keep that in mind. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I'm doing medium readings tonight. I'm going to stay for another, like, half hour probably. Come on in. Hello, Sean. He gives me all the hearts in the world. Margaret, I certainly can talk to your dad. You're welcome, Kayla. Margaret, what's your dad's name? I gotta put Kayla's name back first. Andrew, please. Andrew says he holds you in his heart. And 444 is an angel number that he uses to communicate with you. Now it also means protection. So he's telling you, don't ignore the fact that I hold you in my heart, or don't ignore the fact that I protect you. I feel, Margaret, that there are times in your life that he actually has intervened in a big way to keep you safe. And he would like some recognition for that. He says, make sure you know that this is me keeping you safe. Okay? Oh my God, another 4. There are things that you've gone through alone. You do. That's lovely. Well, he's asking me to recognize it in public. There are things that you've gone through alone that only you know about. There are, like, I see you being at kind of a rock bottom, or in the middle of the night, or like in your darkest hours. And I see you getting clarity on things. You get this thought or this mental breakthrough, and your dad is the one delivering that to you. He's the one keeping you safe, keeping you informed as well. So you probably get premonitions. Are you aware if you get premonitions? Because I think you do, where you'll be driving on one street and your dad will nudge you to go somewhere different, or to take a different route, or to, if there's a delay, like if you're 15 minutes late leaving the house, that was for a reason. But I think you actually get premonitions from your dad. You do. Okay, you're aware. Margaret knows about it all, Dad. Margaret knows about it all. Perfect. Look, there he is. Dad is King of Pentacles. And 10 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. This is likely referring to a family inheritance, that it might be money, or it might be these psychic abilities. But he's talking about a family inheritance. It's like, that's your inheritance. So again, maybe he did leave you money, or maybe it's the psychic abilities. But he is talking about some kind of baggage or drama or something that might have gone on. What do you want to say about this, Andrew? He says leave it in the past. Any kind of drama that's happened, especially financial stuff, leave it in the past, which I think you're going to say, yes, I already do. Margaret, do you want to ask him any questions? You're psychic, you know. Do you know that? Okay, good. She don't get in on the drama, Dad. She do not. She's like her dad. She doesn't bother with any of that stuff. You are, yeah. Those little premonitions you get, that's psychic ability. Yeah. No drama around him at all. There's Aunt Margaret right there. Oh, there's Bruce. Look. There's Bruce. Bruce and Aunt Margaret. There they are. Aunt Margaret is very unique. She would stand out in a crowd, he says. Wouldn't she stand out in a crowd? And then, yes, Bruce is there. Bruce looks like a young whippersnapper or something. There are more people. There are lots of people. Like, everybody who has died are in heaven with them. So he's also showing me an older child, and he's showing me a loud woman, like a woman who talks a lot, and a child, not a child, but like a young person who was the oldest child. Maybe that's the two of them, but I think it's additional people coming out. Talking about like family trauma here. He would like to say about traumatic events that have happened in the family. He would like to say that there's nothing that love can't win. He says love conquers all. And he says that, Margaret, he says, you're just lovely. He says you're creative, you're intuitive, you have a good head on your shoulders. He says you're just lovely. And love conquers all. It's like he would put it poetically. He would say, Margaret is just so lovely and love conquers all. So it's like there's nothing that you can't handle. I can tell he's very sweet. He chooses his words carefully. He doesn't overspeak. He just wants to say small things. You're welcome. Shamia, please, and Sadiq. Am I saying Sadiq or Sadek? And Shamia. Can I hear from Shamia's dad, please? Shamia's dad, please. He's at my ankles, Shamia. I don't know if that would be significant to you, but he's coming in at my feet, at my ankles. It's giving a sense like perhaps he's expressing like humility and gratitude, that kind of thing. Often the ghosties come in at my shoulders. That's generally where they enter, but he's entering around my ankles. Just to let you know that there might be something about the feet that are significant, or he maybe like kept a low profile, or maybe he's telling me like I was a humble man. There's humility there. And then he says, all I cared about was my home and my children. How many children did he have? He's coming to me like wondering like what type of woman are you? Like, what is it that you're really doing here? I don't know if he's really seen a person like me practice this before. I think he feels like I look different than you would expect or something like that. And he's asking you, how are my children? He says, my daughter, which is you, He says, my daughter never stops. Never stops. Like, you don't get a rest. You don't really take a break. He says, like, your mind is very active. And your sons, Dad, what would you like to say to your sons? Your daughter's telling you that your sons are well. He has some anxiety about his sons. Is one of them probably having a hard time? One of his sons seems to be having a hard time. Like, there's some bad luck in his life. And for that son, if one of the sons is not, one of the sons will be going through a bit of a rough patch in their life. Such as like a breakup or losing a home or financial issues or something. And this brother or this child of your dad's will be having nightmares, actual nightmares at night. And it's your dad's way of trying to guide them. So it might be you or it might be one of your brothers. He's going to try to guide this person, this child, through their dreams, and they are going to perceive it as nightmares. It looks like perhaps one of his children is losing a marriage or losing a job or losing a house or something. Could some people not meet him? Maybe your big brother, yeah. I would say it was one of your brothers, yeah. What do you mean by the couldn't meet him? You couldn't see him before he passed. Your daughter says she couldn't see you before she passed. She has sadness about that. And he says, I know. But he says, I know how much you love me. Yeah. But he felt your love. I can feel in his chest that he felt your love. I promise you, he felt it. And he said you had work to do. You couldn't be there because you had work to do. He doesn't hold that against you. So he would like to embrace you. He'd like to give you a hug. And he says, like, we can say goodbye now. Do you still hold on to, I feel like you still hold grief. If you have access to grief counseling or grief therapy or something like that, it will benefit you a lot because you store your grief. So your grief is not resolving. So when we have a loss, like your dad, you probably lack closure because you didn't get to see him. And yeah, there's a lack of closure there, and you're not supposed to stay in a grief cycle. You'll always feel sadness and you'll always feel his loss. You'll always miss him. But ideally, your grief shouldn't be cycling like it is. So if you have access to some spiritual practice or some therapeutic practices that can help you, a lot of like Reiki or some practices like that might be beneficial to you, as well as talk therapy if possible. But he says he's happy. He says, I'm happy where I am. This is like heaven. He's like, I'm happy where I am, okay? You're welcome. I'm going to do one more reading here, guys. Then I will head off, put my children to bed. I'll do one more medium reading. Hi, Lydia. How's it going? Christy, will things work out with John for Christy, please? For now it will. I'm not looking too far in the future though, Christy. But always keep in mind, I'm seeing a little bit of negative, I'm seeing a little bit of bad in the future. Always ask yourself, how does he make me feel? For Christy, how does he make me feel? And if you get feelings of repulsion, like sometimes I think he makes you cringe. So if he makes you cringe away. But he looks like temporarily good. So it's a bit long term. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like there's a connection. There is a positive connection there, but there's something about him that's, I don't know. Send him to me, okay? Where do you guys live? If he could come and I could read his energy, then I could tell you. I'd need to see him. I'd need to meet him or something. Oh, Ontario. Too bad. Maybe the summer. If you're traveling this way in the summer. Tell him to come get a reading video. We can do it here. I'm going to get a message from Lydia's Opa, and then I'm going to get a message from Sage's dad, okay? Hi, Opa. Lydia is here. What message would you like to send her? Lydia, I'm seeing you going somewhere, and she's telling you to make sure. So a couple of things coming out from your Opa. She really prioritizes safety measures. So locking doors, wearing your seatbelt, blowing out your candle. Like, she wouldn't like me burning this candle. She'd be like, she likes safety measures. Okay, Lydia? So I do see you going somewhere, and she wants to make sure you're holding the rail and putting on your seatbelt and those types of things, okay? But in addition to that, she's kind of saying something like, no matter what happens in your life. Oh, here's what she says. She says, when you feel out of control, go to your friends. Okay, is it like a girl's trip? Because she just said to me, when you feel out of control, go to your friends. Okay, that can be, yeah. Is this your family, like with your children? Or like cousins? Because I see more grandparents. Okay. Am I calling, is Opa grandfather? Yeah. I don't know about the trip with the family. Maybe, he says. Sorry, is Opa grandfather? Okay. Yes, you can go on a trip with your family, but even better if you could go on a trip with girls. And the thing about these safety measures, seatbelts and all this kind of stuff, that's not a prediction that something bad is going to happen to you. It's just your grandparent talking to you as if they were alive, right? Opa probably doesn't trust airplanes, that kind of stuff. Like, he's probably just a bit of an old-fashioned guy. But I think it would be better for you to, no, like I said, you can go on your family trip, but also you should spend some time with some friends if you can. So friends can be like sisters or cousins or aunts or co-workers even, but people who are outside your household. It's like, Lydia, you're at a time in your life where you already invest all of your time and energy into your children and your husband. So you're going to do your trips with those people anyway, and you're already investing as much as you can into them. But make sure that you have other connections. Do you have friends? Because it's really important that you have additional connections outside your household. Groups, support groups, knitting at the library. Okay, good. She already does. Good. I don't need to give you more examples. Try to do something with them. That's your Opa's wish for you, is that you would go toward your friends, seek their support, seek their love. Okay? Thank you, Opa. I'm asking for Sage's dad, please. You're welcome, Lydia. Sage's dad, please. Sage, what's your dad's name again? Did you tell me? Scott says, shake it off. Did he play sports or something? He feels like a boxer or a hockey player or something. Yes, that's better. He would want to say Jennifer. He'd want to say your real name. Yeah, or somebody plays sports. Either him or do you have a child who plays sports? Or did you play sports as a child? Anyway, he says shake it off. Like if somebody falls down on the ice, he says shake it off. Something like that. And it shows this is a young person playing sports. And this is like get up and try again. He says dust yourself off and try again. Does that make sense to you, Jennifer? Somebody's play sports. I see somebody winning as well. Do you know what he's referring to? Might be him, might be you, might be... Do you have children? He might be referring to dating. Do you date? Because it's like play in the game. If you don't win the first time, get back on the horse. Like, keep trying. So I need some information about you, Jennifer. Okay. Oh, this might be your son. Would he be dating? And does he like... He's talking about his grandchildren. There's the daughter. She has anxiety. And so do I, he says. He sees, so Jennifer, the easiest way for me to put all this is that he sees everything that's happening in your family, like in your own personal life, in your son's life, and in your daughter's life. Your dad sees all that. Will you tell me, are you married? He just sees everything. He sees you. You don't really have a lot to look forward to or something. Yeah, that makes sense. The energy is a bit like blah in your personal life for just yourself. Now, your kids are doing good. I see your son is successful. It looks like your son is winning at life. That's how your dad sees him. Like getting back in the game, like nothing knocks him down, like he's very resilient and he's very ambitious and that kind of stuff. So your son has real successful energy, it looks like. Your daughter, is she younger? Because she does have a bit of anxiety, but I wouldn't say it's overly damaging. It's pretty kind of in the normal range, I would say. And you're just kind of trucking along, taking it one day at a time. He's a go-getter. Yeah, your son is. What advice do you have for your daughter here, please? He says you haven't changed. You're just the same now as you always were. He says you're so reliable. You never change. Even when you are sad, you're cheering everybody else on. I'll ask about her anxiety a bit more. But he just wants to kind of give you a pat on the back and say, he's like, yeah, you don't have much to look forward to. It's hard times right now, but you just kind of rally. I see like you just make the best of the situation. You just rally yourself, and he's just acknowledging that. So let me ask about your daughter's anxiety. How can we help? How can we help her daughter with her anxiety, please? How old is your daughter, Jennifer? And where's her dad? How old is she and where's her dad? Do you live together? Like, where is this man in relation to her? Oh, so he's away. So that looks to be the root of her anxiety. So in situations where, and are you not going to tell me how old she is, or do you not want me to know, or like just is she preschool? Is she middle ages, or is she an adult? Like, you can give me some idea. But it looks to me like this is not a genetic type of anxiety. It's not an inherent anxiety. It's not like she was born with an anxiety disorder. It's just a response to her environment, a response to her experiences. And in those cases, like stuff like, typical anxiety supports can actually help. Like positive thinking and journaling and the stupid stuff that they tell us to do for anxiety. In her case, it would actually work because she doesn't have a mental illness. If you have like inherited, pervasive, lifelong anxiety that is, whatever, that's not her. So this can be supported easily. Not easily, but it can be supported. It's not this lifelong, chains. It's not. She is very disrupted by her father's absence. And I do see two men here. So I don't know what's going on in your dating life, or if this is real, like what the two men are doing. But it's hard for her to navigate the father figures in her life. And depending on her age, I wouldn't recommend traditional therapy for all ages. But there are things that you could do for her to help. Yeah, that's what it is. And she's still just trying to figure this stuff out. So she just feels like a bit disrupted by those things. And that's not to say that you can't do that. It's just that she needs supports to process it. So the reason that she's looking like it's looking like a medical condition is that she didn't have the toolbox to deal with such a big change in her life. So there are easy tools that any child, counselor and stuff can give you. I don't know if I'd take her to a counselor. I think I would, if I were you, I'd get informed myself and use your parenting power to help her and give her the tools that she needs. Dan Siegel, write down that author. Self-reg, Stuart Shanker, Dan Siegel, and whoever wrote The Whole Brain Child and Mindstorm. Whoever wrote Mindstorm, Google Mindstorm and buy all of his books. Do it. Your parenting is much more important than any kind of therapies for her. It's all she needs. All she needs is for you to have the tools to support her through these experiences, okay? And back to your dad. What did you want to say to Jennifer in closing here, Dad? Seven of Swords. Dad's just saying divorce is confusing for children. That's what he's saying. But he says cheers to you. You're doing a good job, Jennifer. You're doing everything you can. Okay. And he says, I'm right there with you. And your son and your daughter too. He's right there with them. They will benefit from therapeutic approaches, but I just don't know at what age they are, so what's appropriate. Okay, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Jennifer. If you're in St. John's, you should come see me. If you want to be lectured. Half the time, that's all I do. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Take care. Shine bright. I will see you next Tuesday. And make sure you're following me because I post daily readings every day. Like 3 or 4 at least every day. So I will see you. Yes, my love. Jennifer, my booking link is in my bio. And I have openings for Sunday. I'd love to see you. Shine bright, everybody.